In 2010, a food scientist at UC Davis tested the best-selling olive oils in America. 69% failed. Not lower quality, not mislabeled, fake. And the industry's response didn't fix the problem. It buried the man who found it. Right now, there's a bottle in your kitchen. The label says extra virgin, cold pressed, imported from Italy. You paid $14 for it. But here's the question you haven't thought to ask. What if that bottle contains no olive oil at all? This is the hidden story of the biggest food fraud most people have never heard of. And the reason it's still happening today isn't because regulators couldn't stop it. It's because someone made sure they wouldn't. The UC Davis Olive Center published its findings in 2010. Researcher Dan Flynn and his team tested 19 of the top-selling imported extra virgin olive oil brands in American supermarkets. The results were damning. Only 3 brands passed international quality standards. The rest failed on oxidation, adulteration, or both. Some bottles contained refined seed oils, sunflower, soybean, hazelnut, mixed with chlorophyll and beta-carotene to fake the color. Others were simply rancid oil passed off as fresh pressed. Flynn published everything: the brand names, the test results, the methodology. Within weeks, the North American Olive Oil Association launched a public campaign to discredit the study. They attacked the testing standards. They attacked the lab. They questioned the researchers' credentials. And then, very quietly, they began lobbying against the FDA, adopting any mandatory quality testing for olive oil sold in the United States. But here's what that lobbying campaign didn't want you to know. This wasn't a new problem. And it wasn't limited to cheap supermarket oil. European law enforcement had been seizing fraudulent olive oil for decades. The Italian Anti-Mafia Commission had documented the 'Ndrangheta, the Calabrian organized crime network, as a primary actor in industrial olive oil fraud as far back as the 1990s. They were blending industrial-grade seed oils, adding synthetic pigment, bottling it under Italian regional labels, and exporting it worldwide. By 2010, Interpol estimated the fraud was worth hundreds of millions of dollars annually. The mafia wasn't selling fake olive oil on the side. Olive oil was the business. So, when Dan Flynn published his study, he wasn't just embarrassing a few importers. He was threatening an entire criminal infrastructure that had spent decades building legitimacy through Italian heritage branding. The industry response wasn't just defensive, it was strategic. The FDA has never required independent quality testing for olive oil sold in the United States. Not in 2010, not today. There is no legal requirement for a bottle labeled extra virgin to actually be extra virgin. The term carries no enforceable standard under American law. After Flynn's study, the industry didn't tighten standards. It pushed to make traceability harder. Country of origin labeling rules were weakened. Blending regulations remained voluntary. A bottle can say packed in Italy while containing oil from Tunisia, Spain, and Morocco, refined and blended together. Americans spend roughly $1.5 billion on olive oil every year. Most of it is not what the label says. Dan Flynn spent years watching his findings ignored, disputed, and quietly shelved. The study that should have changed labeling law became a footnote. The brands he named kept selling. Some of them still sit on the shelves of every major supermarket chain in the country right now. The bottle in your kitchen, the label says extra virgin, cold pressed, imported from Italy, and the scientist who proved that label might be a lie is still waiting for someone to act on it.